that news of Red Bull suspending the female employee who made the complaint is quite shocking to me, unless there's information there that we don't know. Because yeah, that's I don't know. This whole situation's getting absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. There's been reports that Jerry Horner has made it clear to Christian that he's not to go near her anymore, but they work together, so how is that going to happen? But you can't just sack someone for no reason. Is it possible that they are the ones that leaked the documents after they weren't happy with the result of the investigation? I don't know. You know, there has to be a reason, because they'd be opening themselves up to a huge lawsuit if there's not a good reason. So, yeah. Zoo, how you doing? Make sure to go like that YouTube stream, everyone. Likey. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it's not good, is it? You wouldn't say it's good, would you? Yeah, the whole situation stinks. In fact, the whole situation in Formula One absolutely bloody stinks, to tell you the truth. We got bloody Ben Sulayem, the FIA president, doing mad shit. So, yeah, hold on one sec. Yeah. Oh, God. Rainbow Road. Absolute that circuit looks insane. It genuinely does look like someone has just made Mario Kart in real life, though. It genuinely does. Absolute madness. Well, my guess is the reason they've done the 100-meter rise corner is just so they can do something completely different. They can have that sort of rise above the building stand, something you've never seen before on a Formula One. You can't deny that we've never seen something like that on a Formula One circuit, have we? Essentially, it being artificially risen on, you know, stands, and we've never seen anything like that. Ever. And so they're certainly pushing the boundaries, but the problem is it looks, you know, again, it just looks like a bloody, I don't know how you describe it. It just looks like a video game, doesn't it? It doesn't look real. So, we'll see. Oh, it's very windy. Very windy. Well, we don't know that the track is dangerous, Finton. That's that. How can you say the track is dangerous when you haven't seen the actual track? They're just concept images. It's not going to turn out exactly how those images were. They're just concept images. Obviously, it's going to be safe. Otherwise, it wouldn't get approved. So, safety won't be a concern there. I imagine it won't go as high as that. I'll also imagine that the runoff will be extreme. Think about this, right? The uphill first... Oh, you mean this track isn't safe? Well, sorry, I mean... Well, they've done a lot to improve the safety over the last couple of years. They've moved the walls in, haven't they? Sorry, they moved the walls out so that drivers have better visibility into the corners. But you are right, it is a very dangerous circuit, for sure. You're not wrong. But they've made quite a lot of effort to like move the walls out a little bit to give better visibility around the blind corners. If you think about that other circuit, how many times have we raced at COTA and COTA goes up into the first corner? How many times has a car gone flying way beyond the runoff area? Never, because it's a braking zone. And that corner would also be a braking zone. If that corner was flat, then you wouldn't be able to have it like that because the chance of going full speed around that corner would be too extreme. So it's not going to be an issue. But obviously it would be made safe, clearly. I mean, it's not going to be. So we'll see. It wouldn't be until 2028. I think this circuit's here until 2027, I think. So you got 2025, 2026, 27. I'm not sure if it ends in 27 after the 27 season or it's until... I'm not 100% sure. Ferrari have got a cover over their rear wing. What's that about? It's like it's just come out of a box and they haven't taken the plastic off. They were straight out of those hard tires. Yawning, sorry. Smash a crane into turn 1 at COTA? I don't think so. The Jules Bianchi incident wasn't at COTA. It wasn't off color, MT. He wasn't making a joke about it. He was asking if that's where it was. Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah. How many years ago was Jules Bianchi? How long since his passing?
Subscription received.
Was it 10 years ago? Daz, thank you very much, buddy, for the 10 months.
Hadz, hey, afternoon.
Wow. That's genuinely crazy. I didn't think it was that long ago. Yeah, if you'd have asked me when that was, I would have said it was a lot sooner. $10 years ago. Wow. Ferrari got a lot of flow vis on that rear wing of Sainz. $20 kilometers an hour headwind on the main straight. Bloody hell. Yeah, Sainz wasn't in the paddock yesterday. He wasn't well, apparently. He's in the car, but he wasn't feeling... He wasn't well yesterday. You got to have faith with Formula One, JB. You've got to just have faith, as George Michael would say. You got to have faith, the faith, the faith. Look, I'm going to say this. This is my prediction. And you can take it or leave it. Believe it or not believe it. Do what you will with it. I believe the gap to Red Bull will be a lot closer over the next 4 or 5 races than it looked at Bahrain. But Max will still be winning. Max will still be winning, but the gap will be smaller than it was at Bahrain. I don't think that was the true reflection of where the teams are at. But I still think Red Bull is ahead. And then supposedly, between Japan and Imola, Red Bull are bringing some sort of, you know, slimmed down side pod, which will take them, you know, even bloody further ahead. So honestly, that would kick at all the other teams in the face, wouldn't it? It would kick all the other teams in the face if they brought a zero pod-ish design and it was much, much quicker than Mercedes. At that point, it would just be... It's not going to be a zero pod. They're just going to reduce the side pods. It's not going to be what Mercedes had. Also, everyone fixates on it, and I know that if they do bring something like that, everyone will be like, oh my god, oh my god. But the reality is, it's the floor, it's the suspension, it's everything. It's everything that works together, you know? So it's not just a case of putting some side pods on, and that's the difference. Lewis was quicker than everyone, but on a harder tire as well. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah. Hey, Bag. How you doing? Lewis was a lot quicker than the first runs of, you know, Ferrari and McLaren and everything on a harder tyre. Again, you don't know engine modes and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm alright, you know. I'm alright. I need a haircut. I'm having my haircut on Saturday. But I need it. My hair's wild now. It's just absolutely wild. $5 years. Oh my wordy, wordy, wordy. When my hair starts getting long and it starts coming out here, and then my beard starts getting long, I just feel horrible. I just feel horrible. And when I have a haircut, I just feel fresher, you know? Everyone's ramping up now with quicker times on the hard tyre. Oh, Max lost a lot of time there in the last corner. Well, that is lovely, SpongeBob. I just look scruffy when my hair gets longer. Obviously, if I let it grow out so that it was permanently longer, if that makes sense, obviously it would be better. But when my hair starts growing, it grows out of the sides here. And then obviously my beard makes it look worse. So my beard comes out sideways. And then that makes it look... It makes me look quite scruffy. No, Perez isn't going to win this race. Lewis Hamilton's going to win this one. Oh, Gasly P2. Go on, lad. The Alpine boat. I mean, we are near the water on this circuit. Maybe Gasly could just take the long route around the harbour. Maybe. He might be better. Like, come off at, like, turn 3, just go over the water, take the long route, but he might actually still be quicker. You know? Yeah. A water hazard. Just a pool that you have to cross. Bloody Robert Firmino. Is he still in the Premier League, Firmino? Yeah, he's not in the Premier League anymore, is he? He doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. Right? He plays in Saudi, which makes sense as to why he's there. Alonso now. Putting in a quick time. Well, it's not quick at all. They're nowhere near quick, but, you know. Good lap from Piastri there. 10th off his teammate. Harder time. I mean, I hope they have the Undertaker present. Was that last year? There are small upgrades for most of the teams, but most of them are circuit specific, like rear wings and things like that. I didn't see any big upgrades. You don't tend to get any for the second race, really. There are a list of upgrades, but they are mostly circuit specific. It's like when you change your rear wings and stuff. Oh, poor Esteban Ocon. Oh. Lance Stroll. Jesus. Yeah. He might have broke the front wing because something came flying off, didn't it? Something came flying off. We're not even... Yeah, I saw this video, but I wasn't sure. I thought this was like... Was this year? I thought it was last year that he did this ceremony. Fucking bonkers, isn't it? Well, to be honest, I saw it on Twitter. As you can imagine, it was all over bloody social media. Nah, I refuse to call it X. It's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. It'll always be tweet. I'm never going to refer to it as X. Just going back to the Horner situation, as you say, Dan, this is the big problem Red Bull will have. They have to have had very good reason to suspend the woman in question. Because as you say, Horner was never suspended during the investigation. So why has she been suspended? The only reason, and someone mentioned it, the only reason that it would make sense is if they believe she is the one that leaked the documents. I'm not saying she did. I'm not saying that is what's happened. But that's the only logical explanation I could think of where they believe they would be able to suspend her without any ramifications. Because there'll be a lawsuit coming their way if they've suspended her without good reason. There's a weird situation with Red Bull Racing, whereas it's owned by a Thai organization, but the management, like the control, still remains with the Austrians, like the Mateschitz son. I think it's David Mateschitz. And the Austrian side is supposedly supporting the woman. But the Thai side is supporting Christian Horner. And that's the issue here. And so, from what I understand it's the Thai side that wanted her gone. No, Mateschitz, the owner of Red Bull. Listen, I'm probably butchering the name anyway. So, you know. It is an absolute shit show. Dietrich Mateschitz passed away last year. Was it last year or the year before? And this shitstorm has emerged, I feel, since then. There's been a power struggle since Dietrich Mateschitz passed away. But his control fell down to his son, David Mateschitz. The Austrian side of things, yeah, are supposedly in support of the woman in question, whereas the Thai owners are in support of Christian Horner. So, yeah, where's Peter? Russell's at the top. Peter didn't show up during Bahrain. That's curious, isn't it? When Mercedes were terrible, Peter didn't show himself up. Yeah, I mean, listen. We all know that Helmut Marko is a massive prick. Okay? And that's undeniable. In fact, really, when you think about it, the whole organization that's running these things at Red Bull is a bunch of twats, really. Helmut Marko, horrible bastard. Jos Verstappen, horrible bastard. You know, so it's basically a boys' club of bastardry down there, isn't it? Honestly, they're not very nice people, Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen.
Presubscription received. Apparently, you were doing something right.
Perez goes a few tenths off there.
It's all horrible bastards.
Hamilton was matching the time. He lost 2 tenths in the final sector. 48 months, Shock. Thank you very, very much. Hamilton was matching the time of Russell and then lost in the final corner, I think. Where does the time go? It just goes into the ether. You know, the time just goes into the ether, Shock, and then we just wilt away until the finite days of our lives. Really. We're just really playing a cruel, you know, patient waiting game, aren't we? We're just playing the waiting game of life. And it's just how we amuse ourselves in that waiting room.
Presubscription received. Apparently, you were doing something right, Captain.
Hey, Red, thanks for the 45 months.
Good noon.
I think I know who's going to win this race, honestly. This is an honest answer now. I think I know who's going to win it. Esteban Ocon. Okay, it's not going to be Ocon. That would be ridiculous. Pierre Gasly. Yeah. I can't wait for the first wet race to see how well. Can you imagine if we get the first wet race and Alpine are really, really fast? That would be so funny. That would be so funny. It would just play to this boat meme even more, wouldn't it? Oh god, it's too much. Too much. God, did you see what Tsunoda did after the race? Did you see it? He dive bombed Daniel Ricciardo like after the race on the cool down lap, and then almost hit him because he was so angry. He just needs to chill. He needs to cool down, man. He's way too hot-headed. Way too hot-headed. I understand he was annoyed, and he's got a right to be annoyed at what happened, of course, but Jesus. He's like that guy in Formula... Who was that guy in Formula 2 that got pissed off and tried to smash into someone? I can't remember who it was now, but he was... Was it Formula 2 or was it another series? I can't remember. No, not Vettel. It was either Formula 2 or Formula 3. There was a lad that was so annoyed by someone pushing him off. I'm sure it was at Silverstone. He literally went to spear them into the next corner. Like, it was really, really bad. I'm sure he's still... It wasn't Dan Ticktum, was it? I'm sure he's still racing. No, maybe not Dan Ticktum. No, who? I can't remember. I doubt most teams will be making much money. Oh, Navani. It's not Roy Nissani. It's Navani. You might be right. Something like that. Edison Cavani. I imagine Edison Cavani would be a bit of a bastard in a race car. Let me see if I can find it. It was Santonio Ferrucci, but that wasn't who I was thinking of. I don't think Edison Cavani was a United legend. No, this wasn't the one I was thinking of, but it's another good example. It wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was at Silverstone, though, the one I was thinking of. Anyway. Oh yeah, it was Dan Ticktum. It was Dan Ticktum. But it was an earlier series. He received a 2-year ban in an MSA Formula clash. He had a contact with a competitor early on, right? And he passed 13 yellow flags, 4 double yellow flags, 2 white flags, and 15 safety car boards to catch up to the guy who made contact with him. He just drove through everyone just to get to have a go at this guy. And he had a 12-month racing ban because of it. Like, I thought it was Ticktum. Was it? I don't know if it was this race, but it probably was. Anyway, yeah. He was banned for 12 months for that act. Yeah, we've spoken of the old Red Bull memes. Tilbo. Yeah. Is Max leaving Red Bull? I mean, I don't know. I find it unlikely that he would be, if I'm being honest. I don't know why it says... There we go. Look, the reality is, right, Mercedes would want Max Verstappen. Max is going to go where the best chance of him winning is, though, and that's Red Bull at the minute. There's no logical reason for him to leave Red Bull at the minute. If Horner goes, the car is still the car. So there's no logical reason for him to leave. Yeah, but Hamilton's not left a winning Mercedes to go to Ferrari, is it? It'd be a very different scenario for Max to leave the best car on the grid. Yeah, Lando... I mean, he's not that much quicker on the soft tyre, to tell you the truth. Imagine if Horner leaves and then Newey leaves and goes to Ferrari. He's only a 10th quicker, though, Norris, than Russell on the hard. I mean, everyone would want Adrian Newey. Everyone. Mercedes, McLaren, everyone would want him. Jesus Christ, Albon was so far over that curb. There may as well have not been a corner there. They look so good through that section. I think there's a very good chance that if Newey did leave Red Bull, he would go to McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes. I don't think he'd go to Mercedes. McLaren or Ferrari, I think. But probably Ferrari, if he was offered something, just simply for the fact that I think he'd want to design a Ferrari. But he has been linked with Ferrari before. He has been linked with Ferrari before. Yeah, Ron Dennis made it very uncomfortable. You read his book, and there was... Ron Dennis certainly was the reason that Adrian Newey didn't enjoy his time at McLaren. Yeah, I mean, Adrian Newey going to Ferrari when Lewis goes there would be absolutely absurd, wouldn't it? Yeah, it is. It's like even now Ferrari still has that prestige of wanting to drive a Ferrari, isn't it? Max is never going to Ferrari. Plus, honestly, Charles Leclerc and Lewis at Ferrari's mouth-watering enough. I think Charles will beat Lewis on qualifying pace. Race pace, we don't know. It depends how quickly Lewis adapts. He'd hope to be close, but we don't know. That building looks like it's covered in like a curtain. What the hell? What's going on with that? It's bizarre. Plan B, Plan B, Plan F, Plan M, Plan X. Box the car, we retire, box the car. I feel sick just looking at this state car on board. Lewis, we are looking, we are looking. Lewis, we are thinking plan S for shit. S for shit. Oh, here we go. Verstappen's out all the soft tyres. Loving life. God, that Red Bull is so glued. I could watch this Red Bull on track all day long. The precision these guys have to drive a track like this on the limit so early on without making a mistake is just... It's so good, isn't it? So good. Yeah, 30 flat for Max. Looked nice that on board. Toto smiling. Toto giving a little smile there, wouldn't he? He was like... Hmm. Ooh. Just a tickle quicker. Wow. He was quicker in... Similar in Sector 1, quicker in Sector 2, and lost time in Sector 3. Hmm. Interesting. I always find it so interesting as well how all the teams, their simulations and their data come to the same conclusion of run plans for the most part. Most of the teams go out on hards, then they all start doing their soft runs at the same time. And then they'll all come in after their soft runs and go back and do longer runs. And they've obviously got simulations and everything that tell them what the best things to do are and when to do it and blah, 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 blah. And Leclerc 4/10 off. Hamilton 2/10 off in the first sector. Not got the pace of Russell at the minute. Charles Leclerc, second down. Hmm. Hamilton was 2.5 tenths slower than Russell, but he actually lost pretty much all of that in the first sector. He was 2/10 off in the first sector. And so pretty much all of that was first sector, I think. If I look at his quickest time... So Hamilton did a 32.8 first sector. Russell did a 32. Yeah, Hamilton was quicker in the last sector than Russell, but he lost his time in the first. So they're fairly even. Verstappen was, the same. He was very, very close to Russell. They were just switching sectors between Sector 2 and Sector 3. Ferrari obviously won't be that far off. They've just not cranked it up yet. I think it's on F1 TV, Captain Awesome. Yeah, I think all the sessions are on F1 TV. Obviously, depending on if you've got a subscription, if you're in the right country, but yeah. Snapping on another lap now on the softs. I think this one will be quicker than Russell's. Oof, yes, it will be. 3.5 tenths quicker. Purple sector 1, purple sector 3, green sector 2. 29.6. Sargent still not getting anywhere near the time of Albon. He's 3 tenths down on Albon's time. Yeah. Simon Cole. I'm not familiar with Simon Cole. I kind of like seeing the cars go around this track. I mean, it's a mad track with how fast it is. I'll say that. But I don't dislike watching cars go around it. God, the cars, that TV angle looks so good. Not fast, though. That was 3 tenths slower for Hamilton in the first sector. Russell's also down by 1.5 tenths. Better second sector for Lewis, but... Oof, lost loads of time there. Yeah, it didn't seem like a particularly great lap from Hamilton. That I mean, used tyres, you know, but he was 3 seconds down in the first sector, and then he had a green second sector and a green third sector, but he still ended up half a second down. Yeah, it was a nice lap from Max, that. I don't think everyone's too far away, though. George's lap was only a couple tenths down. Lewis seemed like he was maybe a little bit more away. He's definitely got more to find than George. George seems like he's got a pretty good handle on it early on. Oh, man. So, just trying to see if... Do we have hope? Do we have hope for the day ahead? For the weekend ahead? I don't know. Charles Leclerc. The track is like Mario Kart. There are plastic bags everywhere. There are bloody plastic bags all over the track. It's true. Yeah, I mean, listen. FP1 in it. What we know is that no matter what happens in FP1, FP2, FP3, when it matters, Max pulls something right out of his Dutch ass, doesn't he? And so, yeah. This weekend will be closer. I'm calling that, by the way, Daz. It won't be Red Bull will win, but it'll be closer. Where are all these bloody plastic bags coming from? Where the bloody hell are they coming from? He's been dropping bags at the Saudi Arabian track, have you? Maybe if the Alpine ran over one of the bags, it would actually improve their aero. I'm just saying, we don't know it won't. Hmm. I think, well, we've got 10 minutes left, so we are getting a few more soft runs. Piastri's out there. Certainly running pretty wide, though, through turn. Has that stopped? Has that stopped moving? It has stopped moving. Stopped for some reason. Here we go. I don't think Hamilton will be particularly happy. Again, coming into a weekend, I appreciate it's only P1. He's not going to be, you know, fretting or anything, but he's coming to P1 and he's, you know, 3/10 down on his teammate. I don't think he'll love that. That Alpine looks like it's bouncing a fair amount as well. Quite a few stabs at it there, Ocon, to get around the last corner. Is on the medium tyre, though. Race run for him. Just did a 36 flat. I think Ricciardo's also on a race run, though, same tyre, medium. And what's he going to do? Did 31. He must have been on less fuel. I mean, according to that top four there, you've got Verstappen, Alonso, Perez, and Russell within 3/10. That would be something. It is just widening the choppy
New
rays.
subscription received.
Whoa,
With
thank you for the
gratitude.
gift to F1
Gratitude
Mags.
dispensed.
The thing is, Remag is also F1 Mag when you think about it, because he bloody loves F1, doesn't he? Well, he loves playing the game. I don't think he loves watching very much. You need a link, Abdo. What do you need a link to, my man? Hold on. Good name, Wope. To watch the... I don't have a link, man. I'm not sharing links, copyrighted links with you. I'm afraid you're going to have to find out how to watch it yourself. Depending on where you live. F1 TV, perhaps? Sky, perhaps? Maybe ESPN? If any of those, you know, are available to you. It's also right, a link won't probably do you much good now anyway, because there's only 3 minutes to go. God, those curbs freshly painted, looking absolutely scrubbed to shit. Scuffed. I need a VPN sponsor. Even if I had a VPN sponsor, I wouldn't be, like, advertising ways to circumvent copyright. Like, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. Why not? Because I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. It just seems like, yeah, it just seems like it's asking for trouble. Hadz does crime. Comment etiquette does it. I don't know who that is, SpongeBob. Look, I'm not Salvia. I still don't know who that is. I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't do it. People do what they want. I'm just saying that I'm not going to actively promote people doing it. You know? And yeah, probably nothing will happen. I mean, nothing will happen to me. Who's going to do anything to me? You know, it's not like I have any associations with anyone. But just, I don't know, I'm just not going to promote it. It's nothing to say I wouldn't have the opportunity for, or potential of opportunities down the line, though. So actively guiding people to, you know, use a VPN to break copyright and what have you is probably not advisable. I say you probably, you know, I'm sure plenty of people do it and get away with it just fine, though. I'm not judging anyone. You do you. The wind, I think, is really messing with these drivers because lots of drivers having some wily rears. I was thinking this earlier when I was in the car, and do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that you can tell a lot by a person about how you can tell a lot about someone just based on how they drive. I think. Just this dopey woman that's going round the roundabout, but she's going around the roundabout, but she's not indicating. And driving, I think, is my one source of rage. Well, I'm talking about driving on the road, bag. Like, no, it was just a humble woman in a humble car. She's just, you know. And the people not indicating is my biggest gripe. Like, someone will brake ahead of me and they'll turn, and I'll be like, oh, you're just not going to indicate then. Like, it just really bugs me. People not indicating on roundabouts. Like, it's like, sorry, are you asking for trouble? If you're at a roundabout in the junction, you need to base on if you can go or not, on if someone is indicating. If someone's going straight on, you can go. And it bugs me more than anything when someone will get to the apex of the roundabout, and so they're not indicating, so you think they're going straight ahead, and then they put their indicator on, and you're like, it drives me mad. It drives me mad. It's the easiest. Indicating's the easiest part of driving. Like, it's literally the easiest thing. You're not having to do handbrake turns. You're not having to do parallel parking. It's just indicating. Oh, where am I going? Left. It's the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, people who are indicating after they've turned or while they're turning, and they think that's okay. Joe hears of this on the daily. On the daily, he hears about me complaining about people indicating. Anyway, Saudi Arabia, FP1 done and dusted. Red Bull still looking strong, but the gap doesn't look huge as we see it at the minute. FP2 later on at 5 o'clock will be a much more representative session. I will be live for that as well. And so we'll be here for that. I will say goodbye to you first on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. I will be back on YouTube later, and I will see you guys then. But for you Twitch people, well, I am also going, but see you later, friend.